Hey, welcome to the KMF Network. I am your host with the most. It's your boy GB, aka Coach GB, coming through from the 412 Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for tuning in. You could be anywhere in the world right now on social media doing something else, but you decided and you made a decision to come on to the KMF Network and tune in today. So thank you for tuning in. We truly appreciate each and every one of you who tune into our broadcast. I want to go into Coach GB mode today as we are coming down. The first half of the year is coming to an end. We are entering into the second half of the year, and I think it's time for Coach GB halftime speech, if you will, right? To get us ready for the 2020 second half, because the first half, it's been a mess. What have we learned so far, though? Just going into this first year, or this first half of the year, if you will, we've learned that tomorrow's not promised. Interesting thing is that I say that probably a dozen times a day in the line of work that I'm in. I'm in the insurance business, and we tell our clients every day, look, tomorrow's not promised. If you died tomorrow, how would your family pay for your expenses, if you will, right? But tomorrow's not promised for any of us. And that's just the reality. Not only is tomorrow not promised, but money and fame cannot buy you more time. I'm going to give you a couple names of people who passed away in the first half of 2020. You may have heard of a gentleman by the name of Kenny Rogers, passed away. Very famous singer, country singer. He was one of my one of my favorite country singers of all time. Rocky Johnson, the father of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I remember Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas used to be a heck of a tag team back in the WWE back in the 80s. He passed away. If you're a Harlem Globetrotters fan, Curly Neal, who was a Globetrotter legend, absolute legend, passed away. Roy Horn of Siegfried and Roy, the illusionist, has passed away as well. And then the one that really hits home for me was Kobe Bryant, because Kobe, first of all, he exemplified greatness in all levels in his life. But Kobe and I were the same age, and he passed away, and his daughter passed away, Gianna, as well. And Gianna was the same age as my daughter as well. You know, he had all the fame, all the money in the world, but when it was his time to go, it was his time to go. So that's the one thing that we've learned, is that money and fame can't buy you more time. The other part of that is that tomorrow's not promised, really. In February, just in my own circle of friends and family and what have you, we had 4 funeral services in 7 days. 4 in 7 days. You talk about a rocky start to the year, first quarter of the year. And then we learned that life is completely unpredictable, right? There's this little thing going on. You may have heard about it. It's called COVID-19. It's a pandemic that shut down the whole world, not just Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, not just Pennsylvania, but literally shut down the whole world. There have been close to 10 million cases. Thankfully, half of the people have recovered, but close to 500,000 people have passed away due to this pandemic. Life is completely unpredictable. I know in 2019, December 31st, 2019, when we were all saying 2020 is my year, none of us was thinking pandemic's coming. I don't think any of us was thinking that. And here we are. Life is unpredictable. So going through all of this stuff in the first half of the year, right? I think it's safe to say that life is way too short for petty differences. I've witnessed petty differences happen in my own life, and it's really unfortunate. People get upset, get emotional and things, and it just can really spiral out of control if it's not handled. You know, petty differences, one way to stop a petty difference is to talk it out. But we're so comfortable in texting it out. We're so comfortable in doing, the You know what I'm saying? You use your thumbs when you text. You know what I mean? Instead of just having a conversation with somebody, we do it on texting. We do it on social media. And I've seen so many friendships and great relationships be torn and ripped apart because you can't agree on something. And I say life is too short for all that. It truly is. I just had a client that I went to go see earlier in the year. His son passed away about 9 months ago, and his son was 18 years old. And my client is living with guilt and resentment because before his son passed away, they had an argument. They had a disagreement and they never reconciled. And he never thought in a million years that he would never see his son again to forgive and to move on. There comes a time and place, guys, where you got to talk it out. Don't text it out. Texting and commenting on social media to a certain degree, it can cause, you could get lost in translation. Talk it out. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Right? And then forgive and move on. I'm a firm believer in forgiveness. Firm believer. Forgiveness is the ultimate reset button. It truly is. It gives you the opportunity to reset and have new possibilities moving forward. So you forgive and you KMF. You keep moving forward. You can agree to disagree on topics of discussion and still be friends. You can do that. I promise you, like that can actually happen. Like we don't always have to agree on everything. What would be the point of that? Where would be the learning and growing in that? I'm a firm believer in having uncomfortable conversations where we don't agree on everything because it helps me to open up my mind. It helps that person that I'm talking to open up their mind and have more insight, right? That's how you learn. That's how you grow, right? You can agree to disagree and move on, but be open-minded when somebody is speaking to you. Don't get all caught up in the emotion of it all, right? Now I'm going to ask you a question. If you died tomorrow, would you be satisfied with all that you've accomplished, all that you've done, the people that you've impacted, your life's work, if you will, right? I'm not. Personally, I'm not. And I believe that we need to get busy living, right? Get busy living in your purpose on purpose because life is too short, guys. It's way too short. It's time to be all in your purpose for yourself, for your family, for your fellow man. And going in, being all in your purpose is going to be a level of discomfort. There's going to be testing phases that come into you living in your purpose and giving it everything that you got. It's going to happen. You're going to be tested. But I'm a firm believer that with testing, there is a testimony when you overcome it. And what that does for you and what that does for your fellow man is that they can utilize your story to help propel them to get through what they're going through as well. Okay, so get busy living and be all in living. Right now, I feel as a nation, we are down at halftime. The score is like 28-3. We had to take that knee and go to the locker room and regroup, right? We're down 28-3. We're losing, period. We're getting our butt kicked in 2020. But there's still a second half in this game. The game's not over by any stretch of the imagination. I'll tell you a story. Back in 1993, in the playoffs, it was the Houston Oilers versus the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Houston Oilers beat the Buffalo Bills in the last game of the season, 27-3. Whooped their behinds, right? And the Bills came into this playoff game without their Hall of Fame quarterback, Jim Kelly. They had Frank Reich in the game. And boy, did Houston come and start whooping their behinds. The halftime score was 28-3. They regrouped at halftime, only to have Houston score again in the first drive to be losing 35-3. They were down 32 points. right? Did Buffalo pack it in? Did they start blaming each other for the reason why they were losing? No. What they did was they came together as a team. They came together as a team, and wouldn't you know, play after play after play, they actually came back and won that game in overtime, led by a backup quarterback, right? They won the whole game and moved on to the next round. I believe they beat the Steelers the next game, if I'm not mistaken, right? They actually went to the Super Bowl that year. That's a fantastic story. Why do I say that? Is because we're down right now, proverbially 28-3. We're getting our butt kicked as a nation. And it's going to take all of us being all in. I say this to my kids all the time whenever we have practice. There's 3 things that we expect from you: max effort, max focus, and have fun. And that's all I'm asking as Coach GB coaching to the nation right now. Give max effort. Be all in your purpose, whatever that means to you. Whatever your purpose is, be all in. And if you haven't found it, go looking for it, because I believe whatever you go looking for, you will go and find. What you focus on expands. So you have a choice to focus on your problems, or you can focus on your purpose. It's your choice, right? Be all in, max focus, max effort. Have fun with this thing. Have fun with this game called life. We're only here for so long, right? Might as well have fun. Might as well give it everything you got. Might as well be completely focused on it. Like Mr. Miyagi said, concentrate, focus, right? Let's go into this second half all in as a nation, coming together as a team. I'm a firm believer that united we stand, divided we fall. And if we continue to stay divided, we are going to lose. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. So what do you say that I take a pledge? I'm all in. I'm all in this thing, in helping for us to come together as a nation, come together as a unit, right? No matter what. I believe in love over everything. I believe in love for God, love for ourselves, love for our enemies, right? It's all love here at the end of the day. Let's all come together and take 2020, take the bull by the horns and give it everything we got. Let's do this. 2020, all in. Bring your hand in, right? All in. 1, 2, 3, all in. Let's go. Thanks for coming out. God bless. Good day. And like that, we're gone. Peace out.